All right, boys, we back. Sorry for the lack of videos over the past month or so. Anyone that's been playing Destiny 2 recently knows, well, the game's just a tad bit dry right now. But today, we're going to be starting a series where I'll be going over the most popular weapons currently inside of Destiny 2 and giving you all my honest thoughts on if they are still worth going after. We're going to kick off the series with one of the most popular weapons currently in the game, Anarchy. If you happen to have any idea on what I should call this series, then by all means, let me know. As for right now, I'm just gonna call it still worth it. But before we do get started, if you're new and only if you enjoy the videos, then feel free to subscribe. Also, I stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday over on twitch.tv/myfi with an underscore at the end. So if you want to continue this discussion, then by all means we can over there. Now, for anyone looking for the short answer of, is the exotic raid grenade launcher Anarchy still worth your precious time? The answer is yes. I'm not going to make you wait 10 minutes to hear the answer, but for anyone wanting a little bit more information, then let's go ahead and get into it. Now, what is Anarchy for anyone that may be new to the game or just crawled out from under a rock? Anarchy is a 150 RPM exotic arc grenade launcher that sits in the power weapon slot. The only way to acquire this weapon is via the raid Scourage of the Past, and it only drops from the chest after defeating the boss Insurrection Prime. Quickly going over the perks. Column 1, we have quick launch for an increase to handling and velocity. Column 2, high velocity rounds for an increase to reload speed and velocity. Column 3, moving target, which increases movement speed and target acquisition when moving while ADSing. And yes, I know this perk might sound weird as this is a grenade launcher, but you'll learn why it's perfect for this weapon in just a second. Column 4, composite stock for an increase to stability and handling. And finally, the exotic perk Arc Traps, which states grenades stick to surfaces and chain arc bolts to other mines, mines being the grenades that you shoot from the weapon. I'm assuming most of you know how Anarchy works, but a real short explanation of it is shoot the weapon at a surface or an enemy. The shot will then stick to the surface or enemy. If it's just shot on the surface, then it will last for 30 seconds before blowing up, and any enemy that passes over it before those 30 seconds are up will take arc damage. But if it's stuck to an enemy, then the enemy will take damage until the enemy is dead or until the mine blows up, which is after about 10 seconds. Now finally, if you're trying to get the most DPS out of the weapon, the best way to do that is to stick 2 shots/mines to the enemy, which will give you the maximum tick damage possible. Now, speaking of damage, let's quickly go over the damage numbers. If you stick an enemy with 2 shots, each shot ticking for a little over 7,000 damage, you're looking at around 15,000 DPS. And of course, sticking more than 2 shots to an enemy will do nothing other than waste your ammo, so don't even try. So 15,000 times the 10 seconds I mentioned earlier that the mines will last until they blow up is around 150,000 damage. 10 seconds is an average time for most boss fights that have a health gate and can't be burned instantly. So yeah, 10 seconds, good time for the weapon. So if we did want to find the total damage output, which being able to perfectly execute would be a little impossible, we would take the maximum shots we can hold and divide it by 2 and then times it by 150,000. So 31 shots with double grenade launch reserve perks divided by 2 is 15.5 times 150,000 is 2.3 million total damage output. Even though that's a pretty nutty number, the practicality of you being able to pull it off is very slim. Plus, that would take literally forever. Yeah, you would have to shoot 2 shots, wait 10 seconds, shoot 2 more shots, and by that time, the boss is either dead or you're on to the next phase. You're probably never, ever actually going to be able to see that whole 2.3 million total damage output via Anarchy alone. Now, where Anarchy really shines is when used in combination with another weapon. The good old pop a few shots on a boss and switch to another weapon to increase DPS. Literally whatever weapon you want, as long as it's not an exotic, you can have its DPS raised by almost 15,000 when using Anarchy. Some good combos would be Mountaintop, snipers with firing lines, or slug shotguns, especially ones with Vorpal and auto-loading holster like the one I talked about a few videos back. You can see it in the top right hand, the little eye thing at the top right corner of your screen. Now let's talk about how to farm it. And I know that sounds weird because you would think, oh, just do the raid, but you can actually get a little bit more technical than that. Back when Moments of Triumph came out, about a month ago or so, Bungie lifted the loot cap when it came to older raids that would be getting removed when Beyond Light released. The lifted loot cap was for encounters only and not chest. But even though all loot from Scourge of the Past comes from chest, they are still technically considered encounter drops. So that means you can do it as much as you want and you'll get loot every time. Now, another thing you should know is that your chance of getting Anarchy increases every time you beat the raid. After defeating the boss of the raid 20 times, your chance will have gone up from 10% to 50%. So even if you don't get Anarchy after your first few clears, your chance is still getting better every single time you do it. I would say the best way to farm it is by getting a boss checkpoint on one character, loading into the raid with your friends on that character, and then switching to a different character so you never lose your checkpoint. Now, if you don't have friends like me, you can always use LFG, or you can come out to my live streams where I have helped over 100 people beat Scourge of the Past in the last 3 months alone. Quick little plug right there. So now that you know what Anarchy is, the damage it can deal, and even how to potentially farm it, is it worth it? Well, normally I would say it depends and then ask a few questions, but here I'm not. It is 99.9% worth it. That 0.01% is if all you do on Destiny is start the game and then immediately load into Crucible, and that's all you ever do. And even then, Anarchy might make your life a whole lot easier when it comes to getting weapons that are really good in Crucible, but can only be acquired in PvE. So my answer is yes, it's amazing at increasing DPS when it comes to dealing damage to bosses, and it's also amazing for ad clear. You pop a shot to your left, you pop a shot to your right, and you stand behind the arc line, and any enemy that passes through it will just fry instantly. And there we go. Short, simple, and to the point. But now I need something from you. Yes, you. I need you to let me know in the comments section if you have Anarchy or not. If so, then how many runs did it take for you to get it? If not, then how many runs have you done so far? Also, if you would like to see me cover any specific weapons in the future for this series, then feel free to let me know as well. With all that being said, the rest of the video is going to be just some raw gameplay with Anarchy. So if you've somehow never seen it in action, then now's your chance. If you enjoyed the video, then feel free to drop a like, and I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.
Joke, got the sauce, bitch. Chucky got the sauce, bitch.